Hello there, I'm Nafisa Latic and this is Across the Balkans. Tens of thousands of Albanians have joined protests in the capital Tirana against corruption and rising poverty following Russia's attack on Ukraine. Prices in Albania have spiked 8% this year, especially for basic foods and fuel. Protesters also blamed Edi Rama's government for the rising number of Albanians leaving the country. The demonstrations began peacefully until protesters broke through the police cordon and threw paint at government buildings. They then shouted slogans calling on Prime Minister Edi Rama of the ruling Socialist Party to resign. The protests were urged by two opposition parties, Sali Berisha's center-right Democratic Party and the leftist Freedom Party of the former president Ilir Meta.
The reason why I'm here today as a free citizen protesting is because I do not want to leave Albania. I want to create my future and that of my family here, and my children too, so that Albania is not depopulated. We are seeing that villages are getting empty, cities are getting empty.
I came to protest because the people are in a very big crisis. Salaries are very low, there is no economy at all, and there are no young people in Albania. There are only old people left. All the youth have gone. All the people with education have gone abroad.
Meanwhile, British officials have recently said that Albanians are behind the surge of migrants crossing the English Channel and that some of them are involved in organized crime. Many Albanians leaving their country in search of a better life have ended up settling in the UK. They account for 12,000 of the record 40,000 migrants who have arrived in the country this year alone. At the end of October, British Home Secretary Suella Braverman called Albanians seeking asylum in the UK an invasion. Several thousand Albanians living and working legally in Britain took to the streets of London to protest the remarks and the language used against them. They draped their flag over the statue of Winston Churchill.
The British people deserve to know which party is serious about stopping the invasion on our southern coast and which party is not. The system is broken. Illegal migration is out of control.
Braverman's statement has also sparked outrage in Albania, with Prime Minister Edi Rama accusing Westminster of xenophobia, saying it was a calculated attack on his country.
And I must say that in nowadays politics, sometimes this kind of things can happen. What makes me wonder more is that I never heard an apology, which brings me to think that instead of exaggerated expression of frustration, this was a calculated attack. And this is what is the most worrisome.
To unpack what's behind the protests, Vehab Kola joins us from Albanian capital. He's a political analyst and program director at the Institute of Political Studies. Vehab, great to have you with us on Across the Balkans. I have to ask you firstly, why are so many Albanians so deeply unhappy with the quality of life in their home country?
So there are a lot of reasons normally, but Albania is, as you know, actually Albania is the poorest country in Europe, unfortunately. We are experiencing economic injustice and increasing inflation recently, and also deepening inequalities. Our economy is also structured through monopolistic lines, unemployment, crisis of education. So there is lack of hope in the country. So people normally have many reasons to join the protests.
Following the UK's Home Secretary comments about the illegal migration to the UK, hundreds of Albanians went out to the streets, as we mentioned, in London, wanting to send the message, we are not criminals, we just want better lives. What do you think was the reason? Why did they came out on the streets, and why did they feel so offended by her comments?
Actually, her comments are quite xenophobic, using the national identity of a certain group to typify them as potentially criminal. Actually, makes them into a target for hate crimes. So normally they are concerned about such comments, and it's right. Actually, it's their own right to protest against that. If there are Albanian criminals among the Albanian immigrants community in the UK, then this is a personal responsibility. You cannot blame 270,000 people living there for only, let's say, several hundred people who have been convicted for crimes. So they are honestly and justly concerned about those comments.
Vehab, official statistics in the UK say Albanians are the largest single group crossing the channel on boats. Why are we seeing a rise in numbers, and why are they choosing the UK?
Okay, actually that is happening recently. It has not been this trend throughout the years. Until the end of 2021, it has been Iraqis and Iran is actually leading the trend. But since June 2022, it's the Albanians who are the largest group. And we are talking about 11,000 people who have been arriving by small boats, throughout these 5 months. Why are they doing this? Normally, this is the question, not the reason why they are Albanians, but the question is that what is the domestic factors that push them to abandon their families and to even take that risk of crossing the channel by small boats. It is the economic crisis. It is lack of hope in the country. We have had recently elections which didn't produce any change, which has been expected. Also, the opposition is quite fragmented, and it is involved in an internal quarrel. So it seems that people are leaving the country because they don't see hope, and they don't see employment and economic perspective in the country.
Vehab, we've seen massive protests in Tirana as well, people protesting rising poverty, protesting corruption, many reasons, asking for the government to step down, specifically the Prime Minister. It's the crisis everywhere in the region. Why are Albanians feeling so particularly affected?
I guess we are experiencing especially these recent economic crises. We are experiencing them a bit more deeply because of several issues. Several traits of the country. The first is that of we have a monopolistic economy, unfortunately, and the impact of the crisis in Ukraine is being reflected in a multiplied way. So we are paying the highest, let's say, we're buying the highest oil, the most expensive oil in Europe, probably, but for sure in the region. Also, we have a tax regime which is quite, suppressive. So that also adds to the cost of living, to the cost of life, to the living costs. And also, we have these political problems that make it sure to the people that there is no much to expect from the future, from the close future.
What has been the reaction coming from the government? It seems like this is all even more politicized ahead of the elections, as two opposition parties actually organized the protest.
The problem is that the government now is in a quite stable position. It is not, let's say, endangered or threatened by the opposition, because the opposition itself is fragmented. Part of it, especially those who have organized the recent protests, are in full collision with the United States and the European Union and have been, let's say, isolated by the international community. Because of that, they pose, let's say, little to no threat to the government to topple it or even to push it to resign. So the reaction of the government in such, of the governments in such situations is imaginable. So there is no expectation for any any possible change or any possible reaction by them.
Wahab, you mentioned that the trend of people leaving has been on the rise recently specifically. Who is leaving? Are the young people leaving? Are the families leaving? Who is actually looking to move on and settle somewhere else, in the UK, for example?
To be honest, with the statistics, actually the trend of people leaving the country has been relatively high throughout the recent decade. But we are just talking about the concerns of Great Britain recently, because previously Albanians have been turning to Germany or France or other European EU countries. Now they are, crossing the channel to Great Britain because there are better economic conditions and employment opportunities there. But the trend has been persisting since 10 years ago or even more.
Albanian organized crime groups are believed to be among the main players in smuggling migrants across the channel, according to several sources and reports. Could this be the reason why British government singled out Albanians recently?
I do not fully agree with the idea that, the fact that people are, involved in smuggling activities is related to the nationality. For the time being, probably it is Albanians who are more involved in this issue because it is an internal, let's say, economic, social concern that is also, related to the weak border management by the British authorities. For sure, there are people who can, run to the borders, but it is, the nationality of those people is not important, is not significant to the way you manage the borders. So no matter they are Albanians, Indians, or Russians, that doesn't make them into criminals. So those are xenophobic comments. For sure, there are people who are involved, even in Albania, involved in crime activities. That doesn't make those who go there potential crime actors. They are mostly people who go for a better living.
How will all this reflect on the upcoming elections, having in mind the dire situation in the country and the economic crisis? Can we expect massive changes in who is ruling Albania next year?
I expect no changes because we have been experiencing such problems, I told you even earlier, since a decade or more ago. So I expect, a weak opposition and a strong government. I expect no change in the local elections because these are regional local elections, the upcoming ones. But I only expect another disappointment and an added, level of lack of hope, of hopelessness.
Wahab Kola, thank you so much for being our guest. We'll follow the situation in Albania in the future as well. Thank you again.
It was a pleasure.